And that's what helps keep the blade cool. It's air cooled. I get about 170 miles an hour worth of wind pulling over it, and it's pulling all the particulates out. So each rotation of the blade, it's a clean cut. So you don't have the friction buildup, and that's where the heat comes from.
That's super interesting. Thanks for tuning in this week. It's a special feature this week. I have Vince with me from IQ Power Tools, and we're gonna run through each and every one of their products that they carry. And as you all know, I only promote products that I really believe in. So what are we gonna start with first, Vince?
Phil, we're gonna start with our smallest tool, which is the IQ 228 Cyclone. It's a tile saw, 7-inch blade. It's a downdraft system. You can use a 24-inch piece, slides and it cuts. Has our dust tray, our filter system, just like all our other tools.
That's really cool.
Dry cut, 35 pounds, very portable, easy, great for ceramic tile, porcelain tile, LVT.
Makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, thin veneers, it's very, very versatile. And one of the unique features on this is you can take these guards off, and then you have a totally open space here to do whatever you need to, so you can manipulate materials. This is a micro adjuster, so you can dial it in if you have repetitive cuts that you need to make. We have graduations already set up here. This makes it where you can dial it in to perfection. And we have a 45, 22, and a 0 here. So,
that's impressive.
yeah, so just some of the features that we
So you would
thought about.
set that here, and then you could adjust your finite adjustment.
Right. So if you needed to make some repetitive cuts, you could, and that'd be exactly the
And
same.
that just locks right in.
Right.
So you just drop in. I see how it works. And then you can adjust here. And it's got your inches built in here in quarter.
Right.
And this is obviously all your different inches up to 8 inches. Well, that's sweet. Let's move on. I noticed this one here has got this fancy cover on it. Is this something that's available for all your units?
It is. It is. And what we think is that when you protect your equipment, you're protecting an investment. On especially here where you have snow, you can keep it covered in and out of the truck, so you don't have to keep it in an enclosed unit, and on the job site as well.
It's got obviously the eyelets here,
Yep.
so you can put a bungee cord or
Right.
a ratchet strap on it to keep it nice and
Protect
tight.
your investment. This saw's 3 years old and it looks brand new. IQ TS 244 10-inch tile saw, 24-inch straight cut, square cut, 18 by 18 on a diagonal. Again, dustless, just like all of our other saws. You lock the tray this way. This is where your dust goes down here. Clean the filter a couple times a day, like at lunch. That's it. And you're done.
So one thing I've noticed, they got 2 motors here. So this motor obviously is a motor for the saw. What do we see in here?
This is our vacuum motor. This is what pulls down all the dust. This is our vacuum port. It pulls all the dust through these louvers. That concentrates it over the vacuum. And that's what helps keep the blade cool. It's air cooled. Get about 170 miles an hour worth of wind pulling over it, and it's pulling all the particulates out. So each rotation of the blade, it's a clean cut. So you don't have the friction buildup, and that's where the heat comes from.
That's super interesting. And would you always use this as a push-through saw? You would never chop with
Never
it,
chop, never chop. If
Yep.
you do, it's going to spray dust because the vacuum port's on the
Goes
bottom.
out through the back.
Yeah.
How about the stand? Is the stand something that stays on it all the time, or is that
It's-
something that's removable?
It's very portable. What you want to do is you want to square up on the machine. We've seen a lot of people reach and grab it from the front. That's not safe. Let's don't do it like that. Let's be safe. Walk it down, set it down. Now you're off the job site.
You make that look easy. You sure you didn't sell ladders before this?
Yeah, I watched the video. And when you go back, always
You got the
saddle it up.
hooks?
You saddle up the horse, put it on, push back to give it a little relief, get your legs off the floor, snap it in, and again, square up and walk it up. And you're off and running. One of the newest features on this saw and also on an MS362 is a pressure indicator switch. Green, yellow, red, you notice this here. What happens is when you're pushing, regardless of the size of the material, when the blade starts feeling pressure on the motor, it'll alert you. Green, you're okay. Yellow, slow down. Red, you're going way too fast pushing your material. This helps with the uneducated or newer employees that aren't familiar with hearing the hum of a motor. This is our newest saw. This is the IQ 252. It's a 52-inch rail saw. The beauty of this is the vacuum system tracks with it under your cut. So the full length of long material you get. You can also cut at a 45 with this one. This one you can also plunge cut. which is something unique for our tools, and it captures all the dust because we have the extra dust port on top.
So these tables, these normally stay on, or they compact, or?
These are adjustable. They slide in storage right under here. We just had it up here because we have a large piece of 2 cm material, which this saw is excellent at cutting out. You can see we've cut a 45 on it. This material is very difficult to work with. It's becoming more and more popular in the industry. So this was what this saw was designed to help with.
Very cool. As far as transporting and whatnot, how easy is that?
It's very easy. I always get someone else to do it for me. The legs collapse, folds down, you grab it from the front.
Thanks a lot. This is an impressive unit. I know this is starting to, you're seeing it shows, you're seeing more of these saws, and it's interesting to see you guys have captured it in a dustless option instead of the wet, slurry, messy mix.
Absolutely. And with the new blades we have a turbo blade, what we call a silent touch blade. They do excellent on the porcelain, which has always been an issue, and especially when you're cutting a 45, because you're putting longer angle on it, and we have longer flutes on here to pull all the material out and give you a smooth cut and a nice finish.
Nice.
Like all of our tools, we include a wrench for your blade and also for any adjustments that are needed. As we mentioned earlier, we have some new blades. This is what we call our finishing touch blade. It gives you a good clean finish, especially on harder materials. And this is what is called our turbo blade. The blade we're using on the 252, longer flutes, because you have a longer cut with the angle here. As you see, it lays in beautifully and gives you a good clean cut. And these are available from Pave Tool. They have them in stock, ready to ship today. This is the MS362. This is our newest version, the 362i. This also has the indicator, as we spoke of earlier, for the green, yellow, red, lets you know how much pressure you're putting on the material. It doesn't matter the size of the material, it's all based on the pressure with the saw.
If I can just interject here, this has been an amazing addition to your saws. I know obviously we've been selling these for over 10 years, but this saw by far has been our most popular sales item. And definitely the feedback we're getting, guys absolutely love that feature that's on these saws. And also has a slow start too, so you're not kicking breakers like original ones were. So I think that's a couple neat real
soft start
cool
technology, power management, again, our power head motor, vacuum motor, dust containment. The MS362, again, the portability of it is one of the things that people really love. If you're working on your knees and you're by yourself, you can use it like this, or this is the transport position. You can pick it up, grab it like this, and just move it around easily on the job site.
So this being the most popular saw, what are contractors mostly using a saw like this for?
Hardscapes. You know, the beauty of it is we do have a blade where we can also cut porcelain with it. You have to condition the blade, and it's a segmented blade, which most people think you can't cut porcelain with, but actually you can. But hardscapes is the most prevalent use for it. Have a 5 7/8 inch cut. You can sneak through a 6-inch block with a little manipulation of the saw.
How about how big a piece can you run through here?
Currently with this table, only a 24-inch piece. You can put the extension table on it and it turns into effectively a table saw. Why don't we grab that and throw it on and show it real quick. What we have here is our newest product. It's in development right now. It's an extension table, a rolling extension table that has a 36-inch depth of cut on it. Because what we found is that a lot of pavers and even the porcelain material are much larger now. So this is something we're working on and expect it to be available by the end of fourth quarter this year, first quarter next year. But now we're going to show the extension table that goes on top of whatever table you have currently. Now what you have to do, the extension table was designed for our tile saw. This is opening here. To make the modification, what you do is you're going to have to cut through this table to open it up. This rail you can use for adjustments if you need repetitive cuts and help you stabilize material as you push it through. And we have graduations here on the table. You see how the tabletop is smooth, so you can slide and manipulate materials on it. If If you noticed earlier, I wasn't wearing hearing protection when I was making some cuts. The reason for that is this is a silent technology blade. Hear that? Versus this. This is the only blade that we make for the MS362 that's not silent core. It's because of the segments and the thinner kerf made for our European counterparts, but we've also found some uses for it here in the States. While we're talking about blades, I want to show you this little chart. It's part of our packaging to help you guys figure out which blade you need. That's a call we get on the daily. You know, what blade do I use for what material? If you'll notice, the PSI of the material is listed down here, and it corresponds with the blade colors. So it just makes it easy for you to choose the right blade. All right, we're going to talk about how to do some quick maintenance and cleanup. At the end of every day, what you want to do is wipe this machine down. The 362, the 1550, and the 244 are all built on the same frame type. So you have rails and rods, and you just need to keep them wiped down and clean. You don't want to use anything that attracts moisture and dust, like a silicone or a WD-40, anything like that. You want to use something that flashes off quick. I recommend a brake cleaner. It'll clean off anything that's on there. Take off any particulates, then take a Scotch-Brite pad, wipe it down, makes it smooth, ready to go and easy to clean. And it also does a good job up here. What we have here is the IQ360 XT. This is our flagship. This was our first production model. This saw is very portable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the cart that it comes with. This is what we call the transport position, or you can get down on your knees and cut with it. But we're going to roll it over here and put it on the tailgate where we have our power source. Now we're going to move it over to the truck where our power source is. See, we have our 20 amp plug here.
So I'm looking at the IQ360 and I'm taking a little trip down memory lane. Obviously we bought one of the first ones with the original yellow motor, but we used it for pavers, we used it for a lot of things, but there was one area that we found it to just be amazing, and that was interior work as far as veneer stone.
Right.
So what's some of the beauties of that?
Some of the fireplace guys, that was the business I was in. If I'd had this saw, I'd probably still be doing them, because I didn't have to climb down a scaffold, go outside and make a cut, come back in, climb back up. Or if you're up and you cut a piece and you throw it down to a helper, they cut on the wrong side of the line, they bring it back, now the stone's wrong. So you're back and forth. By the portability of having it on the job site, right next to you, by your material,
on the scaffolding.
On the scaffolding makes it so imperative. And because of the lightweight, it's easy to move. You can take a rope and pull it up, and then secure it on the scaffold, and it's money.
Yeah, it is an amazing piece. So I'm noticing obviously the little turn unit, and every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes of cut time, you want to clean the filter. And this is how you clean the filter. You have to count to 3. That's the hard part.
So 3 turns.
3 turns. That agitates the filter, drops all the dust down in the containment. And we'll put this on here just as a reminder.
And then obviously the 2 buckles on the side.
Right. Pop it off. That's your containment. You can put a bag in there so you could bag it and throw it away if you wanted to. Just a contractor bag. This is one of the filters. This is actually one of our tune-up kits for the 362, but the filters are the same. This is the agitator tab. You get new ones with it. And what they do is they simply spin through and agitate the pleats and let all the dust fall out into the containment.
How often should I be replacing a filter?
Annually. And that's assuming you're using it, 4 to 5 hours per day. Most places, like up here in the north where you have seasons where you're not using it, you could go 2 years.
How about wet weather, rainy weather? How do the saws perform like that?
Well, typically you don't want to be in the weather because, just put up a tent and keep your operator safe. That's the main thing. But they'll function just fine. But with the damp weather, sometimes you'll have a little more. You have to clean it a little more. It can.
That's what I was wondering about pertaining to the filter.
Yeah, it'll take
as far as the moisture,
a little bit of life in
dampness.
it because it'll suck it up and hold it in there.
Okay.
But it's fine.
Very good.
This is the IQ 1550. The beauty of this beast, it's called the King Cutter for a reason, is it'll cut a 8-inch block in one pass. But it's also available to chop because it has a downdraft system. It'll pull all your dust down. It's the only saw that we have that you can actually chop with. And you see this little lip here. The concern was it's a little high, so we can just chop with it to bring it through. Also, you can lock this in any position, like if you have some caps and you need to groove to put your lighting wires in, so you can lock it down, or a drip cap if you want to make it. If you have a solid cap, So you have that relief, so when the water comes over, it breaks the
Run
tension
down
and
the
lets
face
it
of the
fall
wall.
instead of the face of the wall, it drops it straight down.
That's pretty impressive. So as far as what am I looking at for power?
This is a 230 volt, 30 amp system.
So most
generator.
standard good sized generator.
A
will run this saw.
10,000 watt inverter is what we recommend, so
Okay,
you have plenty of
10,000
power.
Yep.
Because the problem with generators is nobody rates them the same. You know, it may say 10,000 watt generator, and then you read the fine print, and it's only 7,000 continuous or usage wattage. So that's what you have to watch out for.
10,000
There's no
surge.
regulation on that, so just be careful with it.
As far as maneuvering around a job, it's got the heavy wheels on it for rough terrain. It's got this I
Skyhook.
assume is for skyhook
Right.
for be able to pick products, be able to pick it up high.
And we also have fork pockets where you put in one set of forks there, and they keep it from sliding around. I think we got some video of that earlier. So and you can also move it around by hand.
Okay.
But it's just it's well thought out. It's an awesome machine. We're real proud of it.
How do we clean this one, the filter?
This one's the easiest one so far. We have a button here you just push and it cleans the filter. It spins it automatically. Here's our dust containment, large capacity. And if you have large scale material and you need to push it through, like say the Borealis block, if you're cutting off a piece of it, these open up so you have free range. So you can cut larger stair treads and things like that.
So obviously my eyes are telling me this is not a saw. So what am I looking at here, Vince?
This is our 426 HEPA. It's a general cleanup dust extractor. You've got a lot of attachments. You can use it for general cleanup. A lot of guys use this on retaining walls to clean off the fines and particulates so they have good solid block-to-block contact. It's 190 CFM, and what that means is you can use up to a 7-inch wheel on it to be OSHA compliant. So for grinding or cleaning or cutting.
Okay, so those, okay. And what do we have here today?
This is our core drill, and it's also a dry cut. So what we're going to do is drill a hole through a piece of material without water.
Which
and
is
keeping it
pretty
clean.
unheard of. Most of the time
Exactly.
you are making a slurry mix
And making a
and
slurry mess and leaving stains on your pavers and hardscapes and patios and things like that. So we're trying to eliminate that.
Well, this is cool. I'm anxious to see this.
Yep.
So I see something unique here. I've got my power cord, which is plugged in, but your implement is hooked into here.
It's into there. What's what we call a tool minder. If you'll notice here on the switch, we have an auto with a cord. That means we're plugging in here. So when I start this, it will start the vacuum and the tool. And when I release the tool, it will run for an additional 10 seconds to pull up any residual dust through it. So like if you're using,
cool.
For grinding or whatever.
But if I'm using it standard, I simply just switch to the,
Correct.
okay. I'll put it back on auto and I'm going to let you demonstrate how that works.
We'll give it a whirl and see what happens. On the HEPA Vac, there's a reason it's called a HEPA Vac, because we actually have a HEPA filter back here. But in front of that is our filter. You get 98% of your particulates go in through the cyclones in the containment. We have a patented flap that covers the filter, so only the smallest particulates get into here, and then beyond that is the HEPA filter. So it's 99% efficient through containment fulfillment, so which is a big deal. Because on most vacs, when you start, you begin to lose efficiency immediately because the filter starts clogging up. Because we're bypassing it with our system design here, this remains efficient all the way through.
And I can speak from experience because we've run this unit several times on several of our large OLM projects. And again, we've never had any issues as far as it being backed up and not vacuuming up any dust. It's always worked to its peak performance.
And you notice the design of it. We have the valve covers in the back, the manifold in the top, and the 426. It's a Hemi, but it's a HEPA. What we have here is our dry core drill. It's also convertible, and you can add a 7-inch cut width on it with a grinding shroud. So this is going to be a multi-use item. But what we're going to do here is drill a hole like we're putting in a post around a swimming pool on top of a retaining wall, or either a guide rail going up some stairs. But we've used a pattern piece here to hold down the dust and keep from marring the surface, so it's perfect every time.
So that keeps you in your, like if you have an exact spot you need that,
Exactly.
without that thing traveling,
Right.
this will actually
This
hold
will
that
help
in
you hold it.
place
Right.
and do that for you.
Once you get started, you can pull your pattern piece off so you have a better visual. As with any power tool, let the tool do the work, don't force it.
Thanks a lot, Vince.
Hey.
I really appreciate you being here. I think it was super impactful and effective as far as what product works for which type of materials, couple it to the right product, the right blades, all that stuff. Super, super helpful. Any last closing comments you have?
Listen, we thank you for being a dealer, for a value dealer for a long time. Been coming up here for a long time. It's a great atmosphere. These guys take care of their customers. There's nothing more we can ask for.
Well, we appreciate the partnership for sure.
It's been delightful.
If you like this video, make sure to click here. You can watch more videos and be sure to like and subscribe below. See you next week.
And there's a GoFundMe page for a new boat.
You can sign up for our tip of the week here.
Or you can watch more of our videos here.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel here.
And make sure you shop our products at pavetool.com.
If you're located in Canada, you can shop at pavetool.ca.
Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you next Friday.